to another episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth. Now, firstly, some irritating news, and that is this. Basically, this is the second time I've had to record this episode because my mic muted itself, and I don't quite know why, which meant that I did the entire recordings and everything, got to the editing phase, put it into my audio editor, and there was just nothing in the audio file. It was dead. And this is bad for two reasons, because firstly, it meant that I couldn't put... We don't have a Champions League draw to show you, which is a pain. Secondly, it means that the game that I actually did live com, I've already done because I saved it all now. It's not like before where sometimes I notice before I save it, but this time I had to put... The file was fine. All the files were there and they were big sizes as usual. So I just assumed that it had worked. When I put it in the editor, it was just blank. So that's a pain in the arse. So basically what happened is we got Manchester City in the Champions League quarter-final, and I played the first leg in the live com. Then I played our FA Cup semi-final against Burnley after that, to make it so that we had a decent number of games for our live com extravaganza tomorrow. Now, today, because I obviously have to save it, so we're actually going to be doing in this episode the second leg of the game against Manchester City, which means there will be one less game in tomorrow's live com episode, but you're getting this one as a live com anyway. It's just a little bit irritating. So I'm going to go through the games that we've had this month, talk about things, and yeah, I'll explain what's happened. So that's a little bit annoying, so I have massive apologies for that, but this is the only way I can really do this now. It's a shame because the game against Manchester City would have been entertaining to watch. Perhaps not for me, but for you it would have been entertaining. Anyway, so first game of the month was against Leicester City, and believe me, this month has been a pain in the arse. Like, everything about it has screamed, what the hell is going on? So we started off against Leicester City, and I was disappointed. We were the better side in just about every aspect of this game. They had a little bit more possession. That is what I would say. That is the one thing that they really stepped up on, is possession. And even then, it wasn't like they dominated us. They just had 52-48. But they had 2 clear-cut chances, and they scored both of them, whereas we had 4 and we couldn't score. Well, we scored twice, and I just felt that we were better than this. We played our more... we played with a defensive midfielder today because we were away from home, and I just wanted to make sure of it. And given the way we were in some other games lately, and this month in particular, I felt that it was important that we got the win. So 1-0 to us. Then on 38 minutes, Leicester scored with their very first shot of the game. Are we really that surprised? This just seems to happen all the time now. Literally, first shot of the game, ball in, missed the header, and Chris Wood at the back post makes it 1-1. Annoying. Then I thought we'd actually rescued the game. 75 minutes in, Milton Peralta has been an absolute hero for us this season, with some of the goals he's got in the most important of moments, really. And Jed Wallace knocking it through, then Millington around the corner, and it's Milton Peralta with, I think, only his 5th goal of the season. But this man does not score an easy goal. He's the Mr. Important Goals. Put us back in front, and then, unfortunately, with 6 minutes to go, Leicester with... Okay, they'd had a few shots by this point because they were trying to come just whacked in, and just what about that for a finish from Chris Wood? But I was disappointed. I felt we were the better side and we should have won the game, and that is going to be the theme of today's episode, is shoulda, woulda, coulda. And we shoulda, and we probably woulda if we coulda, but we didn't. And next game though was even worse. This one is probably the worst one I've ever seen at this shit. So look, Cardiff 5 shots, 4 on target, 3 goals. Portsmouth 25 shots, 8 on target, 1 goal, which was an own goal and wasn't even counted as a shot. And you think, well, okay, maybe you were shooting from long range, maybe you did. No. We had 4 clear-cut chances in this game that watch range and should have been in, as well as that 1 half chance too. I genuinely cannot fathom how this even happened. And of course, they scored with their first shot of the game. That's just a given now, isn't it? Admittedly, it was 14 seconds in, so they were hardly like to have more than 1 shot in that period. But Ryan Smith, the former Portsmouth player, loanee of course, made it 1-0 to, bear in mind, relegation-threatened Cardiff here. Relegation threatened. They were 18th, I think, going into this game. And they're away from home. And just, I don't even know. 60 minutes, we were just coming at them again. I can't even explain it. We dominated every asset of this game. More shots on target, more clear-cut chances, more half chances, more long shots, more possession, more corners, less free kicks. Just everything we did in this game says we should have won. And then to actually lose it, we nearly lost this game 3-0. And that would have been an absolute disgrace to lose it 3-0. But 3-1's just as bad when you really think about it, because the goal that we did score was an own goal by their goalkeeper. So, I mean, look, I love the way my goalkeeper doesn't even attempt to try and save that. Just lets it go straight in, and their third goal is just as bad. I say just as bad. It's a good strike, the third goal, the Cardiff score. But just, I don't know, games against Leicester and Cardiff, away and then at home, to drop those 5 points where we really should be winning both games. For me, it was just like, well, you're not getting in Champions League this year. We really are going to struggle to get into the Champions League now, because the teams around us, Stoke, Chelsea and Spurs, are all tearing up trees at the moment. They're getting little dodgy results here and there, but for the most part, they're winning games, and they're winning games like this, basically. You know, against these sort of sides. We shouldn't be dropping points against them, and you'll see Ryan Smith finish off this, but you know, it's a good finish from Smith. I'm not denying that. It's a decent finish, but what is my defender doing diving in there and then just bang, long range effort, of course, and it was 3-1 to Cardiff City. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm at a loss as to what we can do about results like this. They just seem to happen so often now, especially to the latter stages of this season, which is disappointing. Santos whips the ball in, and it's sort of, I thought that should have been Wallace's goal, but apparently it went in off the goalkeeper or something. So Rajkovic, who you recognise briefly from the start of my Red Star save, is at Cardiff City in this particular save. So there we go, 5 points dropped. In our next game, we played Manchester City away, and because of the system they were playing, I decided to go with our 2-striker system, because it's worked well against this formation in the past. And I have to say, again, it's just more of that. You're better than them, they beat you. Sure, that much I will give them. But look, clear-cut chances, 5-3. 4 all on half chances, even on possession. They're Manchester City. And they actually didn't beat us, as you can see. But, frankly, they very nearly did, really. I mean, if it wasn't for a late mistake, which you'll see, they would have beaten us. Mateus Teixeira put them in front after just 12 minutes, and I thought, uh-oh, it's going to go wrong. And yes, it was, of course, their first shot of the game. Peralta then scored a penalty for us, which is, you know, again, important goal. I don't know why he was taking it, but it might just be because he was like just the way things planned out. Belanta should have been sent off for that as well. He was by far the last man, and he just sided him over. It should have been it was a penalty, which means it was a foul, so it had to be a red card. It was denying a clear goal and scoring opportunity, but it wasn't. Sent off for some reason. Norman Millington then scored his 37th goal of the season. He can score against anyone. You might be wondering why he's called King Norman Millington now. Well, there is a reason for that, I assure you, and that is because I've heard people saying, you know, once he gets to 35 goals, he should be a king, and, you know, he is. In fact, I think I said I'd do that in the last episode, but I've done it for this one, and he has lived up to his title, believe me. So that meant that we were actually in front, 2-1 up at Manchester City. Unfortunately, in the second half, it was just a case of give the ball to Patrick Roberts, and he can put it in the back of the net against us, because he just seems to be unplayable. Just you wait until you see what happens in our first leg of the Champions League game against this mob. And then immediately after that, it was once again a case of give the ball to Patrick Roberts and he will score, because apparently we don't have the ability to mark him, even though I set specifically for them to do so. Great finish, though. Like, genuinely great finish. But 5 clear-cut chances to 3. So, again, when you're even, you lose. Or you draw. You cannot seem to beat them, and I'm bored of that now. Like, all the games where we did beat them last season were all us getting absolutely battered for 90 minutes and nicking a goal. When we play better, we lose. This, however, was woeful from Nastasic, and Norman Millington was able to sneak in again and earn us a late point. And my point is now, 38 goals for him this season as well, which is phenomenal. How comes we can earn a 3-3 draw against Manchester City, yet we can't even get a single goal against Cardiff when we play much better than this? It's what? So there we go. It just feels like there's still some dynamics in this game that, like, I understand that football is random, but it just seems a little bit too random, almost. Like, people point to, like for example, the FA Cup this weekend has been crazy. Yes, I agree, it has. But that doesn't happen every week. And it doesn't happen anywhere near as much as it does on FM, it seems. So anyway, moving along. In our next game, we were away against Arsenal, and it was relatively a similar story. Like, it was very, very even, and probably a draw was a fair result. We did have a goal disallowed for offside that I was a little bit jaded about. Kieran Griffiths was actually the goal scorer. Peralta got the ball and he hit it from long range. He hit the crossbar, bounced back, and Griffiths put it in. I thought he was level, but a draw isn't a bad result. So my point is, you get a draw against Leicester and Cardiff and you lose, and then you go get goals against Manchester City and Arsenal away from home. I don't know. That would have been that was when I then did my next live com. And as you'll see, we lost our live com against Manchester City, and it was a relatively similar story. You look at those chances and think, well, you probably deserve to lose. Yeah, but most of that came after Verstraeten. Well, not most of it, what we're talking about. Not most of it. Some of that came after Verstraeten was sent off. So basically, as you can see, once again, 3 clear-cut chances in this game we had. We also had more shots on target than them. But bear in mind, they had 2 clear-cut chances after we got a man sent off. I think, or at least 2. It was disappointing again. Like, we played well with this system, but Roberts there, I mean, how is he allowed to finish there? And also, why didn't my goalkeeper keep that out? He should be stopping that kind of thing. So 1-0 to Manchester City on 18 minutes. Roberts just seems to like scoring against us. Then just before half-time, Manchester City got themselves another goal. Patrick Roberts, we were marking him. You just couldn't touch him. He's so good. Ball around the side here for Zapata. A little bit poor. I don't know why Lopez Sousa then runs away, and it comes down there. Well saved initially, but Robson on the rebound, no chance. That was 2 clear-cut chances in one there, because the first shot and then the second shot. We were looking poor. I say poor, we were doing all right, but we were 2-0 down. Then we got ourselves a little bit of hope. Burrell here into Norman Millington. What a toe-poked effort there to make it 2-1 and score his 39th goal of the season. He just loves scoring goals, and I love him scoring goals. King Norman is, I don't know what we're going to have to, if he ever got to like 50 goals in a season or something, what the hell would we call him then? Emperor? Lord? Overlord? No, we've already had Lord, haven't we? Then, 66 minutes, we were really going into the game at this point, like genuinely having a really good run at it. Like, we certainly weren't outclassed in this game. If you look at those stats, there's no way we should have lost by the amount we did. Ball comes down here and Roberts again into an empty net. Great pullback from Robson, no denying that. But I just feel like, why can we not get results when we play well? Like, they had 2 clear-cut chances for 1 goal, and they had 2 after we got a man sent off. Then we got ourselves back in it for another time. Look at this. Griffiths ball in. Millington, bang! And that was goal number 40 of the season for him. And it's suddenly 3-2 here with 10 minutes to go. I'm thinking, right, we can get this. Then we get a man sent off. And then, unfortunately, the floodgates open. Watch this. Watch Patrick Roberts with 2 heading and 2 jumping reach, win a header, bring it down, and then put it in the empty net. I'm just sick of it. How is he winning headers? He's got 2 heading. I know that anyone can win a header, but Jesus. Like, how many times have I complained about Patrick Roberts winning headers? He just seems to be really, really overpowered, even in the air. Look how high he jumped with, like, 2 jumping reach. I think he's got 3 headers and 2 jumping reach or something. I did check this in the previous time I did this. Let me just... where's the bloody Manchester City stats? I'll just take a look at his stats from here. 5 heading, sorry, and 2 jumping reach. That's where I was getting confused. I hate it. Because that means that we've got no chance of getting through now, basically, in today's game. We need to win 2-0. And we're also going to be missing Borja Gomez and Dylan Verstraeten. We then had our FA Cup semi-final against Burnley. And oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, Portsmouth are in the FA Cup final. It happened. Burnley were good, and credit to Burnley. They really did test us, but we played our 2-striker system, and this time it worked. Like, they had some good chances in this one. They had 4 clear cuts themselves. We had 7. So I guess a 3-0 result isn't really too much of a surprise. Wallace whips the ball in here. We just did what we did, and we did it well. Busonda flicks it through, and Santos puts it in on 12 minutes to give us the lead in the FA Cup semi-final. It was a huge moment for us, because taking us... This was at Wembley, of course, where it should have been anyway. You know, we've got a chance now to win our first piece of silverware in this save. And obviously it won't be Portsmouth's first FA Cup. I think it'd be their 3rd FA Cup. But for us to take them back from League 2 to winning the FA, and Millington, of course, got in the act with his 41st goal of the season. For us to go from, League 2 to FA Cup winners and Champions League quarter-finalists in 10 years is absolutely mental, and I can only hope we can start to kick on next season. Now, of course, I do need to start looking at more replacement players, but we're just slowly, gradually building this team up, basically. I don't think we're ever going to be able to challenge Man United and Manchester City, because they just seem to be dominant to a ridiculous level. I think they've both got more than 100 goals in the league, and there's still 6 games left. It's ridiculous. Watch this for a goal as well. Burrell here, a couple of different versions, and Charlie Taylor, of all people, getting in there to make it 3-0. Now, he was actually playing as an advanced playmaker, because Charlie Musonda had to go off injured, and Charlie Taylor was literally the best player we had on the bench for that role. And I'm glad I put him in, because he actually created some decent chances for us. So there we go. 3-0. Now, all of that, basically, with the results and everything, leaves the league looking like this. We are on 60 points. I know that we're not talking about that, really, but we're on 60 points. Chelsea are on 59 points. Spurs in the Champions League are also on 60 points. Stoke, I think they're going to come 3rd. I think they're going to steal that 3rd place from us. And it's just, that's the thing. If we beat Leicester and we beat Cardiff instead of drawing, we're in 3rd place right now. It is as simple as that. We've got to look over our shoulders too, because although we're in the FA Cup final, that could secure us some European football, we've still got to worry because Norwich are starting to barrel up behind everyone as well now, and I don't know, Robson has got 41 league goals as well. I mean, Jesus. Norman Millington has had an astounding season with 33 goals in 33 games, and yet Robson, he's just unbeatable. So there we go. We're going to take a little look at the squad before we get into today's game. Top goal scorer for us is Norman Millington with 41. Jed Wallace, surplus to require... Well, some people have been saying that I should get rid of Jed Wallace. I mean, 12 goals. He's our 2nd top goal scorer. And has got 9 assists as well. Santos and Musonda with 60. And people say I should get rid of Musonda as well. 16 assists! Like, I know I could get someone better in, but I have to get the person in first. I can't just drop Musonda or Wallace and then have no one in those positions. We have to sign the players first, and I'm looking to sign players in areas that need strengthening immediately, like left back and another defensive midfielder potentially. Player of the match, Santos and Millington with 7 apiece. Yellow cards is Ivančić with 10. Red cards, Ivančić with 2. Annoying there. Santos is probably the best overall though, with 7.54 is insane. Interceptions, Robert Gray with 452. Key passes, of course, Santos with 162. Key tackles is Lopez Souza, but Robert Gray's coming back on there. Aerial challenges, of course, is Lopez Souza, and mistakes is Tony Ivančić with 148 mistakes. I don't know really what counts as a mistake, though. So, that is that. Now, basically, the way things are, they are playing that same system again. Basically, as much as we've drawn and lost against Manchester City in our last 2 games, they are playing the system that our system works well against. Because when we played this system against Everton and Southampton, well, you saw what happened. And they played that exact role, those exact types of players. So I'm going to give it one more go at home. Except we're missing Gomez and Verstraeten, who's suspended. Oh, Jesus. So Ivančić will be playing this one anyway. Griffiths, okay. No, I mean, this is another thing. Like, Griffiths is now a 2.5-star player, so he is like 9 million. His rating is starting to fall, so he will definitely be off in the summer. I'm sorry, guys, but we need to be a bit more focused. Like, as much as Jed Wallace is a 2.5-star player, and wow, he's starting to decline. He's 29 now. He might be gone in the summer too. Actually, I'm not sure about that. And Watmore probably will leave as well. Like, a lot of those guys, as much as they've been amazing for us this series, we need to, look to the future of this club, basically. Right. So, little changes. Ivančić is in, Francois is in, and Griffiths is in. He's a great player, Griffiths, and he's fitter at the moment than Charlie Musonda is. He's only played 12 games this year. Oh, well, 23 if you count it, I suppose. But I don't know. He can offer that little bit extra with regard to creativity. He really can, and he can also score when you most need him, as I found out last season. Against Manchester City today, we are going to be going attacking instead of just straight up. Right, things we're going to do. Patrick Roberts, yes, and oh my god, why are we... Yes, we're going to mark Robson, just completely destroy... He and Robson are the key players for Manchester City. As good as people like Teixeira, Raheem Sterling, Sergi Samper, and everyone else is, those two are the absolute epitome of important. It's great to see Joe Hart still playing for Manchester City at 36. Wow, what a player. I mean, look at that. He's still got some incredible stats. So, team talk. We are going to go on attacking. I figure we've got 2 goals to get. We may as well go attacking from the off, because we can't control a game against Man City. When has control ever worked against a team like City? We need to win this game by 2 goals to 0, basically. And even when we've beaten City in the past, it's been 1-0. You know, we've never managed to dominate them in a game, and I don't think today we're going to be able to do that either, unfortunately, just because of the way things are. Hopefully, there won't be any bullshit today, and if we're going to lose, we'll lose because they were the better side. There's a huge gap for Robson. Nice bit of marking there from the defenders to pick him up and follow his run. That was some good stuff. Glad to see they're paying attention to the instructions we've dealt out. So first clear-cut chance of the game was Manchester City, and it was cleared eventually after much... And there was much rejoicing. Well intercepted. Oh, that's a cock end of a clearance from Santos there. So City have started the better. I might just turn it down to control for now, but we may have to go for it. Like, I just want to see if... Don't want to get too far up the pitch, but City look good so far. Let me guess, long shot. Go on. Wow, that's us done, isn't it, really? I mean, we're not going to score 3 goals, would it have to be? Yeah, if we win this 3-1, we technically still go through. We're not going to win this 3-1, are we? Sterling's ball in. Roberts... Good couple of saves there. They've started so strongly here, City. Mate. They've started incredibly strong. It's weird because it's the same system. Both teams are playing the exact same tactics as they did last time out. But right, we're going to have to go on overload. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it on 20 minutes because we're just going to throw everything at them for the rest of this game. Push forward. Yep. I'm not going to go shoot on sight or anything like that just yet because we do want to try and make sure that our chances are at least good. But I can only see this game going one way now. They've started off so heavily, and we'd need an absolute miracle in front of goal. Admittedly, we do have that miracle, and his name is King Norman Millington, but even he can't save us now, I wouldn't have thought. But can he at least create an assist? No. I think maybe the part of the problem is, of course, by marking people like Roberts and Robson, we're going to allow space for other players, except we're not, because it's still Patrick Roberts, it's still a goal. It's 2-0 to Manchester City. Now, and I can't fault them. They've been the better side in this game by a mile, but the defenders just aren't doing their job right, unfortunately, and that is us out of Europe. Depressing. We are going to go shoot on sight now. In fact, I'm going to push higher up, close down more, take more risks. Why the fuck not? You know, if we come up with an absolute miracle, then we come up with it. But we're sure as hell aren't going to get a miracle by defending now. They've deserved the lead by an absolute mile. In the same way, though, that we deserved the lead when we were doing this to them in the first leg, but it didn't happen. We went 2-0 down instead. That's my point. They're playing well. They deserve the lead. They get it. We play well. We deserve the lead. We get 2-0 down. That's what I hate about this game sometimes. And it does seem that... What was that? Why did he start going towards Patrick Roberts? And not that Patrick Roberts is a particularly defensive player, but still made the tackle, didn't he? Then again, if you've got the ball running right at you, what can you do? Stick a leg out, which is something my defenders fail to do quite often. Blocked again. We're not getting anywhere near this game. For some reason, our passing is also useless today. Every time they try to play an out ball, it just goes straight to City, even though we've got two players in open positions. Roberts again, that's a bit skewed from him. 6 clear-cut chances in this first half. They should be at least 4-0 up, really, against us. We've been absolutely atrocious. I'm going to change to a different tactic for the second half, because what other choice have we got? Because this one clearly isn't working today, even though it has in the previous 3 games. All whilst they were playing the same system against the same team. But I guess tactics do vary from day to day, but today the players are just not up for it, which is a shame. But I guess I kind of knew that the moment we were drawn against City in the Champions League, it's going to be offside. In fact, it's not even going to need to be offside because the pass was so poor. A pass that would normally be made without even a simple hesitation was just massively overhit. Burrell, he's quick, and he's won the ball, but Millington... Oh, he's in the box here. Millington, and he just seems to be able to score no matter who he's playing against. 42nd goal of the season, and Millington makes it 2-1, but we still need another 4 goals, really. Burrell with a good clearance. I thought... Oh, no, he's behind the ball. So Millington's 42nd goal of the season. Is there hope for us yet? Surely not another one before half-time. Imagine if we made it 2-2 here. I would actually probably stick with this system for the second half, because they wouldn't be expecting that. Ivancic... Oh, that's so poor. So poor. What is with the passing? The passing has just got awful today. And it's desperately annoying because I don't understand why. And again... Good tackle from Lopez Sousa. Millington won't be able to win that header, though. Peralta, and again, the header down is useless. I don't understand why the passing's so bad. Lopez Sousa, once again, he's clearing up the mess constantly. But every time there's a pass, it's just woeful half the time. Burrell... Can you pick a decent pass for once, mate? Admittedly, his pass for the goal was great, so I can't give him... Oh, it's 2-2! Oh, my life. It's 2-2 here, and we really don't deserve that by one little bit, so I guess this was... We really did not deserve to be 2-2 here, but we still need a lot more. It's 6-4 to Manchester City on aggregate. We need to keep pushing in the second half now. We can't lift off the throttle. So 2-2 at half-time. Massively undeserved from our point. I guess we've kind of got what we deserved from the first game, but we needed it then, not now. If we could have got those goals in that game, we would have had a 4-4 draw and we'd have been in a much more comfortable position. Right, what can we do as far as instructions? I'm going to say... more direct passing. It seems to work better when we go more direct. We've got 2 men up front now. One of them's a big man and one of them's a little man. That's right. And, you know, he has got quite big... it's got quite big feet for a big man. Yeah, that's what I meant to say at all. He's made a lot of mistakes, but who else are we going to bring in? Come on, when you head up... There we go, Lopez Sousa. I don't know why Peralta was running the other way, but we need to at least be able to Oh, well defended, actually, but it's just going to end up with a goal in the end anyway. And great block, and it's in the net anyway. Oh, dear. I do love how the keepers, like, very rarely actually ever come out and close them down. Like, the ball is almost in front of him and he still isn't coming out. He's just standing on the goal line. I love how that goes straight through the crowd of players. They're back in front again. 7-4 on aggregate. I don't even know what changes we can make here. We're already on shoot on sight, aren't we? Push forward, I guess. I hate the way that doesn't let you make any more changes when it's... Right, there we go. Yeah, look for the... Well, not sure what much good that will do, looking for the overlap, but hey, if it makes any difference, get our centre-backs marauding up the field. Why not? It's basically the equivalent of all-out attack on FIFA. Robson, well tackled again by Robert Gray. Griffiths spreads the play, and the pass actually gets to his man for... Oh, my I say as he immediately gives the ball back to them. I don't know what's up with the passing today. That's something I've noticed as well. When you're against the bigger sides, your passing goes to shit. But it's not because they're intercepting it, because you're just playing it directly to them. Why did he step over the ball? Oh dear. I was pretty much like this in the first game as well, except I was actually more angry in the first game because we actually played quite well in that and actually deserved something from it, whereas this one we don't. And we're getting exactly what we deserve, which is nothing from this game. It was the first one where we should have had things. Burrell is through again, and he's going to surely lose the ball here. Through for Norman Millington, and it's saved. That was basically what the first game was like. We kept getting chances like that, and every single time they'd be saved, except for the two that obviously went in. Right, substitutions time now, I think. Get Charlie Musonda on. Lopez Souza is actually looking a bit knackered, but we've not really got anyone that can play there on the bench. We've only got the 4 centre-backs in the squad, really, and Jack Watmore's just not good enough anymore, so... I'm going to say Lucarelli. He's really useless at right midfield. I have to point this out before I do this, though. But we don't really have anyone else that can play... It's amazing how he's got no... He's just useless as a right midfielder, yet as a attacking right midfielder, he's perfect. Even though we basically play with attacking right mids, they're just not technically in that position. They're just slightly upwards. They're probably going to go back and make it 4-2 again and win 8-2 on aggregate. Right, here we go. Burrell, at least get yourself some dignity, because you just cannot beat Manchester City, and today we didn't deserve to beat Manchester City. Santos, shot, and he's scored. Well, he poached the goalkeeper there. It is 3-3 here at Fratton Park, but it is still 7-5 on aggregate, and like I said what I was actually saying in the first live comment is we were never going to be good enough to win against Manchester City by a certain number of goals. We were only ever going to be able to get a high scoring draw against them, was basically my theory. If we could get a 4-3 win here and lose the tie 6-7-6, that'd be quite impressive, but it looks like Patrick Roberts is... I mean, they've got 9 clear-cut chances today. They deserve the win, and they're actually not getting it, which is surprising. And if this was a league game, I'd be massively happy, but it's not. So I guess over the course of the tie, it's kind of balanced in terms of not getting what you deserve. They deserve to win this game. They're not winning it. We deserved to at least take a point. Not a point, like a draw from the first game, and we didn't. Burrell could win that here. Nope. I love it when they look like they're about to win it, and then they just don't. Not that Burrell is particularly good in the air. I have to point that out. He's not a header of a ball. Let's put it that way. That is more of Millington's area, and that's why I prefer him as a player, because he does give us that little extra dimension. It looks like we are heading out of the Champions League, which is a shame, but are we really that surprised? You know, we've got to the quarterfinals in our first season, and it might, at this rate, in the league, be the only season we have for a year. Oh my goodness gracious me, Tony Ivancic now. What? They've had 10 clear-cut chances, by the way, guys. Just sort of put... Oh, no. No, you're not doing that. Bullshit. If that's offside, show me why it's offside. Don't just fucking... I have it set to goal action. It should show me they're offside. So I'm going to go for elevated, because that's the best way of knowing these things. We're going to just drag it back a little bit. That might be a little too much. We'll just see. I didn't think he was offside there. He might well be. Plus, it's Tony Ivancic. How is he in an offside position? Oh, wow. That was close. Sorry, I don't normally do this sort of thing in live comms, but... He just... No, actually, he was offside. Fair play. Fair enough. I just don't know why it didn't show me. I guess it's because the game finished. So there we go. 3-3 draw. We are out of the Champions League. And frankly, City deserved to win that game, but they didn't deserve to win the first one. So it's kind of balanced out, and I think on the balance of things, we have deserved to go out. And it's a shame. But now we can concentrate on getting ourselves into next year's competition. And that is important for us, basically. So... join me tomorrow for the LiveCom special, where we will be playing against Fulham, Newcastle, Hull, Tottenham, Swansea and Leicester City in the FA Cup final to cap things off. So that's going to be a hell of a way to finish the season. Let's hope we can do it and win that damn trophy. And in those, I want to try and win 4 of those 5 league games to try and claw ourselves into a top 4 spot again, because we really do need to keep that momentum going. So if you guys have liked what you've seen, please drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even on that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I will see you guys in the next episode for Fulham, Newcastle, Hull, Tottenham, Swansea and Leicester City games and all kinds of other madness. So I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.